We are taking a look at this Lego MOC I built, and it is called the Combat Truck. And first, we're going to look at how I came up with the design of this truck. So we're going to roll this one away, and we're going to bring this one in. And this is one of the very first versions. There is a previous version before this one, and that was the very first one. And that I'll put a link to that model in the description, and you can go see what it looked like if you want. And basically, this model, there's some changes to this that have been made to this model unintentionally. For example, a bunch of parts here on the hood have been replaced because this model has just been sitting around because it's the older version. It's just been sitting around and kind of being used for parts. So there are a couple parts missing here and there on this model, but there's still enough left to get the idea of what it looked like. Still, you can pretty much make it out. Yeah, it's probably still pretty much intact, but otherwise, there's a couple parts missing. Basically, I had a couple parts lying around from some Lego Star Wars sets, some Imperial Troop Transporter sets, and these are gray. This is the original truck. This truck was gray, so this is a tan version of a later model. And basically, I had those parts lying around. I had this Hot Wheels Halo Warthog lying around on my desk. I thought, hey, maybe I can make one of these out of these parts here. So I got some wheels and a windshield and some parts, and I ended up with something much like this truck. I mean, it was a bit weaker, and it was gray, and in that link in the description, you can go see what it looked like. And this is a slightly later version, but basically, it's not super. It's pretty simple looking. Some of the shapes are really weird, like this curved slope back here, and the fenders are quite angular and kind of jagged looking. Originally, this was a curved slope, but like I said, some parts have been taken away, so that just tile there now. And quite the same on this side. Back here, some parts are missing. And basically, the idea was, you could have a driver in here. You could have a somebody standing up here, an operating machine gun mounted up here, or some sort of weapon, cannon or weapon on top. So basically, yeah. After a couple modifications later, we had this thing, and this thing is a much more rugged-looking vehicle. And we'll just go over all the details of it. Starting at the front here, we have a push bar that has been kind of saved from the last model. Same sort of round bumper on the bottom. We tried to make it as angular as possible, replacing all the curved slopes with just plain slopes. The only curved slopes on this truck are the bumper here and the fenders and the windshield. Otherwise, it's pretty much entirely angular, which gives it a very almost fighter jet-like look, make it very stealth and rugged. So we have a like a little information readout here on the hood. So if we look at the original design here of this Warthog model, we have a little sort of display that goes into the window here. So basically, that's what this little bump here is based on. And if intakes, we have a light bar up at top. Like, obviously, we have widened axles and widened fenders, or just fenders stuck on there. Give it much more complete look. And go around to the side here. We have some armor panels. We have a ladder to get inside. And swing this brick. This is a Brick Arms M2 machine gun. Swing that around, and basically you can this swings open, and you can see a minifigure inside. We have a lever and a little dashboard and steering wheel. You can see minifigure in there. Put that back down. And one thing you'll notice in this model compared to that old one is this entire back section has been made much more just sleeker and a lot more complete looking. And go to the back, it's pretty much the same. I do have some modifications coming for this one. A bit of like a little part for minifigures to grab on here, so it looks a bit more manageable for a minifigure to be able to actually get up there in there. But then once a minifigure can get up in there, then basically you can just position him up here, position his arm, control the machine gun, move it around, and you have somebody driving. You can basically drive around and like attack a enemy base or something like that. This originally, so like I said, it started out as a Warthog. It's not meant to be a Warthog anymore. Basically, it just has name the combat truck, and it's a simple name, but I haven't thought of a better name at the moment. And instructions for this model are going to be released eventually. They'll come out when they do come out. I have a link in the description to the website where they will be released. And while we're here, I'll point out that we do have two of these things in gray. And yeah, so that's it for today's video, and thanks for watching.